Alright, y'all. So we back, and just like we told y'all, the Kings. Uh, we just want to, like we said before, in our introduction, we just want to make sure we be able to spread, some insight as to what God did through us, through our marriage, and what He's still doing through our marriage right now. So for the ones who didn't get to watch the first video, we will have that posted on our YouTube channel. Please just make sure go follow, not for the sake of likes or anything like that, or follow, but just for the sake of helping somebody, whether it be men in their marriage, have a relationship with God, and maybe something dealing with a family member, whatever the case may be, that's the purpose of why we're doing this. So, gonna get into it right now. The first thing I guess we're gonna start off at is just where it all began. So this has been a topic that's been up for debate for a long time because she don't want to tell the truth of how we first met. Um, she about to start right now. She about to start lying. So it started off. She was hunting me down. She found me on Facebook.
Come on.
And so that's what you gonna do?
First of all, let me just go ahead.
Okay.
So your part, and I'll tell my part.
Okay. So her part, I hope it just add on to my truth. But she reached out to me on Facebook. No. But yeah, I reached out to her on Facebook. I did. I reached out to her on Facebook. At the time, I don't even know what I was thinking. Cause listen, I know I seen that she had 3 kids at the time. And I still was just like, you know what? Let me see what's going on with her. Most people that probably would scare somebody away. But for me, I didn't have no issue with that whatsoever. So I reached out to her. We started talking, a little here and there, whatever. And then, she wanted to meet me at a park. So it was a park that was like.
Did I say let's meet up at the park, or did you?
You did. You did that. She did that. So
I didn't.
She did that. She wanted me. We had a little play date. I think I had. Here come the ruler. Yes, ma'am.
Anytime I'm doing something with her dad, she wants to intrude. So
come on, fat mom. Come on, you come in here too. So, anyways, we had a little play they had. My daughter Leah, if I'm not mistaken, she bought at the time. Lele was, she wasn't even 1 yet. She bought her. Is anybody else with you?
No.
I don't think Maya and Mario was with you.
No.
Let me see that. Let me see that. Fat mom. No.
So he's the one, that reached out and was like, let's, meet up at the park or whatnot. We met up.
You want to get on here?
He had Aaliyah. I had Nalia. So we, let them mingle at the park, and we kind of like was chopping it up and just meeting each other for the first time. All smiles, obviously, like, you would if you first met somebody.
Well, anyways, so whatever lie she just told, but yeah, so we meet up at the park and whatnot, and then it was raining, and so I was just like, I ain't gonna, I ain't want her to walk home in the rain, by herself. So, cause literally like where she was staying at and where I was staying at was probably like 3 minutes away from each other, like walking distance. So, I walked her home. And then of course she was like, you gotta leave. It's raining right now.
I was being nice. I was. It was raining.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I was like, you don't have to go.
And look where we end up now. But yeah. So from there, things just started going, more and more steady at the time. Trying to think. I don't know. It was I believe like I was in ministry at the time in a different ministry. She was in ministry with her dad and her mom, and so she had been in ministry as well, and so we just kind of just kept it going, and things were going pretty well, if I'm not mistaken. Things were going pretty good. Me and Lele had a bittersweet relationship with each other. Oh my goodness, like you can't be able to tell right now. But before, man, look at her. So we like each other, couldn't stand each other at the same time. And she wasn't even 1 yet. And
Aaliyah was always my baby. She liked me from the beginning. She loved me now. So
what you want to talk about? You want to tell some people something too?
Say hey.
What you smiling for? It's not even for you. But so this is Kenzie. This is the one who run everything. If y'all know her, y'all know. If y'all don't, trust me, y'all be talking about she adorable. Let her come to your house. You gonna give it back.
This all she do, suck her thumb and have her blanket all day long.
Yeah, and want to be right here just cause I'm here. She don't want to be in the room. But anyway, so things progressed forward, and I believe that was back in, I'm gonna say 2013-ish. It had to be 2013. Only because me and her got married in 2014. So that was back in 2013. And then I would say a few months down the road, I believe that's when D2 came about, as far as her getting pregnant. And so D2 was
a few months.
What? What you mean?
You said a few months, like 2 months later.
What you mean? That's a long one?
No, I think it was longer than 2 months.
Oh, I mean, people can interpret few how they want to interpret it.
No, to me, few is 2 months.
Well, okay. Well, if we're gonna be technical right now, I guess 5, 6, 7, 8 months later, we don't know. But that is when D2 was conceived. You know, so of course we was excited about that. My first boy, her first boy. We had a team full of girls at the time, so yeah. And I would say, dang, when did we? Well, nah, so then after that, we ended up getting married, and it was
we got married before D2 was born, but we had our wedding after he was born.
Yeah, so we got married before he was born, but she didn't want to have a ceremony until she had pretty much had, but she didn't want to walk down the aisle with a big stomach. That's what it was. So I'm lying.
No, I'm saying I didn't want to.
Okay. So we. I mean, but through a lot of this stuff, you know, we faced a lot of trials. You know, being a younger couple that, you know, who really cared for each other, but really didn't. I'm not gonna say we didn't have any direction or we didn't have any insight. We just was too stubborn to follow certain things at that age. So even once we got married, we did a lot of things that, you know, that people still do right now, you know, even as single couples, even as married couples, to the point where, like, you know, we got into a lot of arguments, and we would just be like, all right, we'll take off to my mom's house, take off to her parents' house. And it was, we were married, but still living single lifestyles in a sense of, or living dating lifestyles in the sense of, it was just too easy for us to just be like, all right, I'm finna go here, I'm finna go there, I'm mad, I'm this and this and that. And so, and I think that was a big reason as to what hindered us before, because we were very stubborn in what we were doing, and we weren't seeking like counsel, we weren't seeking guidance, we weren't seeking the things that we should have known. And I just believe, honestly, it was just more so like, I know for me, in that area of marriage, I was really like, in simple terms, a preemie, so to speak. We didn't really go through the build up of, you know, what marriage looks like, what it should be like. And especially for me, I've never seen a successful marriage. Besides what I see right now between, you know, my father-in-law and mother-in-law, other than that, I've never seen a successful marriage. So I wouldn't know what that looks like, or I didn't know what that looked like before then. Kenzie, what you doing? Huh?
She eating rice.
Okay, let her get out of there. Well, I'll give you some, okay? No. I'm gonna get you, Kenzie. I'm gonna give you some, okay? All right. So, again, I didn't know what marriage looked like. I never really seen a successful relationship. You know, I think honestly before then, The only one I probably seen, but I wasn't around it as much, only because I was in high school, so I was doing high school things. Was my track coach and his wife. You know, they've been together for quite some time. They were even together while I was in high school. But because again, I'm in high school, my mom wasn't looking at that at that time. We were thinking about it. So it was, again, I think it was on my end. It was just like, yeah, we went through it. We went through some things, like, and this is just the beginning. So, you know, we kept doing that, you know, whether it was a lot of arguing, a lot of, you know, not hearing each other, not listening to each other, not communicating, not really, we were at two different churches, and that in itself was a big thing in itself, because again, not saying that you guys have to be, you know, if you are in ministry, so we'll say that if you are in ministry, you know, we're not saying that, yeah, you have to be, but honestly, you want to be under the same ministry, because one person gonna be getting one teaching, the other person gonna get another teaching, and somewhere there might be a disconnect only because not everybody preaches the same thing, and you always want to make sure that you and your spouse are on one accord with each other, because if not, that's where a lot of confusion comes in, and we had a lot of that.
And I can say, like, that definitely was like a main thing with us. Besides us being, you know, disobedient, not really like seeking. For one, we got married kind of like at a rush. It was something that we both wanted to do, but we didn't realize or not if we were really ready to be married. But we did it anyway because that's, you know, what we wanted to do. We felt like that's what we wanted to do. And then like just being in a household and going to two separate churches, and we definitely were getting two separate teachings, which caused so much like discord within our family, because he wanted to do something one way, I wanted to do something another way, and it didn't go well for us. So then like we would, whenever we get into like disagreements or anything, like I would go to my parents for counseling, he would go to his pastors at the time for counseling, and it was just two different things trying to come together, and we just kept bumping heads. So it was more, okay, well, I'm gonna go to my parents' house. Okay, well, he's going to his parents' house. And we never, you know, really came to a conclusion on how we should make things work. We always wanted to seek the easy way out of things, instead of just saying, okay, well, nobody's leaving, we're gonna stay here till we figure it out. Or we never tried to take that road. We just was like, all right, I'm out, I'll see you later when I cool down and be back. And then every time we come back, it never really was like anything resolved. We kind of like swept it under the rug and was like, all right, what's up? So being under two different teachings, it's not okay. Going to two separate churches is okay, like you said, but you want to make sure that they're both believing the same doctrine, because then you're going to get a confused household, which we were very confused on that aspect.
Yeah, so yeah, so like you said, it was rough. It was very, very rough. I mean, it got down to the point where like, and it's not too, and like we're not gonna do throwing names out there, nothing like that. Some people know, you know, but regardless or not, it's just not more so in that area, but it's just more so. Just saying like how extreme it got because of the different teachings, because it was to the point that like I thought that she just hated, you know, my pastor that I was under, you know, and I had grew so close to them, where I'm just like I'm fighting with her, you know, trying to defend them, you know, and then not realizing all the while, you know, because I'm just thinking like, okay, you just saying this stuff because you're under your dad, you're under your mom, you know, and whatever, you know, but it really wasn't that, you know, it was just more so, you know, and now looking at it, I realized that as much as I was used to be angry at her at some of the things that were going on, I realized that God was just trying to use her to, you know, to protect me, to shield me, or to warn me of certain things that were going to come, and you know, we had to go through that battle, you know, and go and just. And you know, eventually things came out, you know, but again, to try to prevent that, that's why we're saying, you know, you want to make sure, you know, I say it's okay in the beginning because again, if you start off at different churches, I mean, obviously you can just convert over just right away unless you want to, but at some point in time, you and your spouse will want to get together
Wait a minute, Kenzie.
and be under the same household with each other, and being able to pray together, understand you guys listen to the same word, the same preachings, and going from there. So after we get past that, I believe that by that time.
So before we even move forward from that, like one thing that I definitely learned was when God is trying to get your attention and trying to get you to realize some things and you don't pay attention, and it's like sometimes you can even see the signs, but you're steady like ignoring the signs. Sometimes God will allow some things to knock you straight on your back to make you to realize. And that was like one of the things when we were speaking about like the different churches that we're in. I even tried to because he always thought that, oh, I'm just, nitpicking because I didn't like his pastors at the time, or it was because I just wanted to stay at my dad's church. And it was more so that I know that the teaching I was getting fed. I even, tried to go to his pastor's church and, try to show him like, okay, well, it's not that. I'll give it a try. And even there, like, the Holy Spirit just would not allow me to like stay planted there because it was just something that was just not right. So a lot of different things kept happening, and it was like one last thing I'm not gonna name. A few people know, but it's not to like bash them. Something like really happened to us with them that caused us to really be like, okay, that was it, like we done. So that was like a wake up call for him, for us. But for him, because that's where he would want to church at. So whenever God is like tugging on you, the Holy Spirit tugging, like you gotta listen, or like God will knock you flat on your feet, allow something like really, really, really hurtful to happen in order for you to wake up, to listen to what he's trying to get you to do. Because if we were to kept staying there, we would have been so far under like destruction, our minds would have been gone. So I thank God, for what he did. I didn't like it, but I thank God for what he did, because we wouldn't even be here today telling the story.
Right. We definitely wouldn't have been here.
And not saying like we would be dead or anything, but saying like probably together, like we wouldn't be here together married. We would be like our separate ways.
Right. And so, just like you said, one thing I always tell a lot of people is that it's unfortunate that it happens that way, but sometimes if it gets to it, God will break you all the way down for you to be able to wake up and realize that you don't have nothing else to depend on but him. And so it's like a lot of times you don't really want to get to that point, but a lot of times we are too stubborn enough, and it happens, and I think that for us it had to be that way, during that time. And again, like, we just scratching the surface. This is just a little bit about a lot of things that we went through. And even with me, I think that while I was going through it with them, going through that process, like I did a lot of second guessing, questioning God, just like, man, like, am I really supposed to be married to her? Like, I don't understand. I don't get this. This is like it's too much arguments, too much this, too much that. She's not following me. She's not doing this. She's not doing that. And it was just even my acts of disobedience to the point where it was just like we got to argue so much to where like we got to split up a couple times. This is just before it even really got serious. And you would think that as leaders, there's a right or wrong way to do certain things, and as leaders, you also at the end of the day, whether or not you agree with a marriage or not, one thing you still got to stand on is just being like, hey, y'all got to figure this out, or not really saying anything to go against the marriage, but more so still not condoning other acts that are outside of marriage, so to speak. And so I don't know. We went through it, and and then eventually it got to the point, so much so to where like I ended up leaving. Like I just was like, I had done left. I had got so numb to everything or whatever. Like it was to the point that like I was able to be like, I don't care at this point. Like I don't care what God do to me. I don't care how he can in my life right now. Like I don't want to be married. Like I just don't want this. And um, it even got so bad to the point that like we sat down and talked. I think in the very beginning when we split up, we sat down and talked, and like I literally looked at her in the face. I was so numb. It was just like, no, I don't love you. Like, and I was able to say that with a straight face. Like, and I think honestly it was more so because I was just so hurt at so many things that were going on, and just really was stuck in my ways of being stubborn and just being like, I really don't want this. So I'm just gonna be like, I don't care. Like, just let me go, just let me leave, and it is what it is. And I was out there after that, and I don't know. It was crazy when we talked and somewhat talked, and I felt like I was justified. Like I was just like after I talked to him, like, all right, she cool with it. Cause in the beginning, like of course as a woman, you're gonna be like, okay, if you don't want to be with me, you might be like, okay, whatever. But then like a day later, you're like, okay, now this not really what I want. Like I want to fight for my marriage, but once she just seemed like she was okay with it, I took that and ran with it. Like regardless of how much she was fighting, I didn't care. I'm just like, this is just because that's just what I want. That's what I had made up in my mind. And yeah, you got something to say?
No, we can cut it on here.
Cut it right here on this one. All right.
And then
because it's something.
It's gonna get good.
It's some more to come. Just on that ending right there, it's some more to come. Once after the whole separation and stuff like that, it gets a lot more intense. And so again, we just hope that this was able to, at least touch somebody, keep you guys, in tune, all we're going to continue to say, whatever that you may be going through right now, and we're going, this is going to be after every video, just continue to, whether it's praying for yourself, if you have a spouse, pray for your spouse, regardless of the situation. At the same time, we would not condone like any type of abuse, any type of infidelity where you just know what's going on, but that person's still with you and stuff like that. We're not condoning something like that. However, we definitely still want you to, if you just know like it just seems like things are just rough right now, you're going through some hard times, whether it's as an individual or as a married couple or even a couple that's looking to get married. Continue to seek wise counsel. Do not seek counsel from people that is doing worse than you. I only say that because it's like, what can that person provide for you if they aren't on that same level? What can a single person provide for you if you are married and you're trying to seek advice from a single person? Not saying they don't have any wisdom, but at the same time, it's hard for them to comment on something and you're married and they're not. Or haven't been through anything and you are going through something that it may be way beyond what they've experienced so far in their lifetime. So please just stay prayerful. And again, we ask that you share this with anybody. And we want you to stay encouraged. Be encouraged. If you have questions, I know my wife has told me that people have reached out to her and have inboxed her and have a lot of different questions. Matter of fact, make sure any question that you don't answer, next time, bring it to this, so we can answer it. We can include that as well. If you have questions for me as well, as a male, I know it's really hard out there for males. So if you have questions, and maybe I don't get to them in the inbox, I'll answer them on here as well. We're not gonna say who asked it, nothing like that. I'm not gonna put you on the spot, nothing like that. It's just more so to be like,
everything is confidential because. Yeah. Questions that you may have, somebody else may have, but don't want to ask, so it's good to.
So we're not gonna just say like, hey, so and so Ashley asked this, April asked this, or Michelle asked this. We're not gonna say none of that. It's just gonna be more so just like, hey, we had a question and we want to answer it, publicly, just so that way, you get your question answered to somebody else who may have thought that thing, through the whole week or maybe months ago or even right now, we can answer that question. So Again, we hope that this was able to touch somebody. And we thank you guys for, just watching. We thank you for subscribing to our page. We thank you for your prayers. We thank you just for your motivation, because again, we ain't perfect.